Hey, hello, and welcome to another episode of Earthworks Hub. I'm your host, Ivan Orlovic from Eagle One Industries, and I'm super excited. I always say that, but I'm very, very excited because my guest today can turn a cigarette lighter on just using his excavator tracks. He can do it with the lighter sitting on an egg without cracking the egg. He can actually take a SIM card out of a mobile phone using his bucket teeth. So definitely a skilled operator. Um, Known all around the world, has over 100,000 followers on TikTok. So he's obviously doing something right. And yeah, so I present to you Matt Lundy from Agridig, and he comes to us all the way from Wales in the UK. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, real.
No, no, thanks for joining us, man. Um,
Well,
how hard was it doing that cigarette lighter video?
you've done really well. No,
Did you end up actually cracking that egg, or was it the first? Would you do it the first shot?
no, I smashed a lot of phones up as well, aren't I? Amount of items I damaged. Oh, it's unreal.
Oh man, that's it. That's it. Well,
I wouldn't use and half of them weren't even mine.
oh really? So they were actual real phones. Oh,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
oh. Well, look, yeah. So you call yourself Agridig? Is that like a business name, or how'd that name come about?
Uh, Well, I do a bit of both really. I do a bit of um, farm contracting and farming, and I
Mhm.
do excavators. I thought, I'll just combine the two. Agritech. I'll just
Yeah, no, very,
keep that in the tin.
yeah. It's a good name. No, very good name. Stands out. Um, so do you work for yourself or do you work for somebody else?
I work for a local contractor, which we do all the mine shafts, like all the old coal shafts and mine shafts. So like when they open up, or if you got to seal them off, we'll go in and just seal them off. So they say the fella that owns the motocross track, which I do the maintenance for on the track, his father owns the open cast, and he's got, you know, his hand to like the 777s, the graders, the D11, D9, D10s, and I just go and jump on them and have a go.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, I take my hat off to all the motor graders out there because there's something else. They are hard to get hold of, especially the piano lever ones, which I was having a go at. They are a scare. They are an art.
Yeah.
I I was always one growing up. I was like the cheeky one that said, "Oh, drive, let me have a go at that. Can I have a go at that?" You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was always, trying to push that a little bit. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how
Yeah.
I managed to gain
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, well, so tell us a bit more about this motocross track. So you post a fair few videos about this. So what's the deal with this motocross mountain?
It was built, well, he built them on the open cast, with this the spoilie from them at the open cast. Um, and it was the son's dream that he wanted to own a world class track. So without all the machines that he had, it'd probably be an impossible because I forget the amount of soil we imported up there because it was just a flat like spoilie. So all the elevations and everything, all the soil had to be exported up there. And I forgot, it was built with a D9 and a 50 tonner. So that tells you how big it is.
Wow.
Well, the track is actually it's 50 acres, and the track from start to finish is I think it's 2 kilometers long. It's the
Wow.
biggest track in Britain now, I think.
The biggest one in Britain. Wow. And then do they like do televised um racing and stuff there?
Uh, I don't think it's televised, but we we've hosted like the British Championships. Yeah, so we're hosting like quite high up races with all the top um, MX riders, like.
Mm.
But it's a lot of work to get the track right for them because they can be quite fussy. To me, oh, it's too
Mm.
wet. Oh, there's not enough soil on it. It's it's hard, but it's a big learning curve. So
Yeah. Well, how often do you work at this at the motocross track there?
through the summer, every night after work and every weekend. So it's a lot of work, and I spend well half my life at there.
Yeah.
So like, if there's a race on a weekend, I'll probably be up there all week after work, using the dozer, grading, sorting all the corners out, watering the track. Well, just trying everything I can really just to make it, you know, a great experience when they ride it. So,
Mm.
and it's 50 acres, and it's a lot of work for me. But, I enjoy it. So,
Yeah.
I don't
S-
know.
Yeah. So what's some of the machinery that you use on these motocross tracks?
It's just, it's mainly like a small little dozer, 41 dozer. She's an old one. It's got 14,000 hours on it. But, she's had engine rebuilds. She just had a new undercarriage. And to be honest, I'd rather operate that than a new dozer because she'll still put a good shift in. Oh, she will. He's the beast of a dozer, in all fairness. Um, and then just generally like tractors with the Bowsers, harrows on, um, excavators for shaping the berm. Yeah, so it's all a learning curve for me at the minute. But I'm starting to get in with it. I'm starting to get the grips of what they want and what makes them happy, what winds them up.
Mm.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm getting it
They
slowly.
Yeah. Do you get to meet any of these motocross riders? Like, do they actually come up and talk to you as well? Or
Yeah, actually, I don't know if you heard of Tommy Searle, British MX champion. Yeah, and but even he even plays the track up, and yeah, it's quite proud for me as a like maintaining the track the year that the track is was quite good off an MX rider. Yeah.
yeah,
So like what he was unhappy about, I can put right for them. So when they come back, they say, "Oh, we're fit. You've actually listen to what we said."
yeah. It's funny because I always like we watch motocross on TV and stuff, and you don't realize all the work that goes on in the background. Like preparing all the track and all the machinery you need, and keeping it moist and that. You were saying how you have to keep all the soil moist and everything to a certain level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's elevated on like an overburden tip, the water just drains away, uh, like straight away. So like prior to a race now, all like every night I'll just put water on it so it soaks into the soil and gets the right moisture into the soil.
Mm.
I'll try to anyway, and then I arrow it, so it turns out quite nice. But then they
Uh,
wreck it then when it sits, and I got to put it all back.
it keeps you
Then
busy though.
oh yeah, it keeps me busy. But then I don't know, I don't have a life, but I love it anyway. I'd rather do that and go out and have a drink. So
Yeah,
that's what
true.
makes me happy.
Yeah. What about so maybe if we can just backtrack a bit and go and talk about yourself a little bit, like how long have you been in this industry and like how did it all start for you?
Well, it all started from when I was a little child. Actually, my grandfather has always been around farming and like JCBs and yeah. So that's how I started. I was actually, I think it was 5 or 6 I was when I was on a 180 JCB on my own, and well, it just went from strength to strength, really. But yeah, it all stems from my grandfather, which is no longer with us, unfortunately. He died
Yeah.
2 years ago. So all I try to do now is not, is try to to do him proud in, do you know what I mean? For all his effort that he put into me. So that's
Yeah.
all I try and do. Yeah, and over 23 years I've had my operating license. Yeah, which is I'm like a lot of people I speak to, they ask how I grade and whatnot. But people forget when I started, there was a time when I was crap. I can remember when the first grading job I went to do, the two brown men were laughing at me because I couldn't keep the bucket on the floor. But you've got to be determined and, and just shove yourself forward and try to improve yourself. And then one day it'll just click. And then once you've got it, it's like riding a bike then. It never leaves you.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point because that was something I was going to get to later and say like, what advice can you give to people that want to start operating?
Yeah, like there's going to come a time where a new operator is probably going to get thrown off the job because he's not good enough, which is right. There was a time when I was getting thrown off jobs, but then me, I'm like that stubborn. I didn't want to lose, so I just like I'm going to prove them wrong, and I didn't give up. But don't get me wrong, there was times when I felt like saying I don't want to do this no more, but I'm stuck with it. So yeah, well, it's got me like in Earth Movers magazine over here now. A lot of big companies now. I get invited to VIP days, and yeah, it's quite good actually. I'm starting to enjoy it now.
Yeah. Well, tell us a bit more about that. So obviously you've got, a lot of followers on TikTok. You're producing a lot of videos and content on operating skills and some of the things that you do. Um, how has that impacted your life now, like getting so big on social media?
It's I didn't actually plan on getting so big, to be quite honest. The reason why I started doing my TikToks and sort of showing people how to do things, because when I was starting out, there wasn't anybody there really which I could turn to. Like, how do you do this? How do you do that? Because not this day and age, a lot of hypocritical operators. Like they'll say, well, if you can't do it, you should go. And that's not the attitude to have. You should be like helping these new operators come through. Do you know what I mean? But that's why I got a lot of time for people who want to learn and they want to succeed at it.
So you mainly did it just to inspire other operators and help. So is that sort of what you're saying?
Yeah, because like I have a lot of like messages, like people I know asking me how do I do things and what what can I do and like I say that Rome wasn't built in a day. It doesn't just happen overnight. You just got to be have it in your head that you've got to do it, and then yeah, you are going to struggle, but you've got to be that in your mindset you can do it because a lot of people will feel like, oh, I don't want to do this, and that's what's happening now. Well, especially over here in the UK, there's hell of a shortage of operators. I don't know what it's like over there with you, but there's there's hardly anybody coming through. And like 10 to 15 years in the future, well, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, like what I've noticed over here is like an operator, well, operators, whether you're a new starter or an experienced operator who's been operating for like 20 odd years. Say, for instance, you're on a 360, new starters on a 360, and experienced operators on a 360. They've all got the same rating, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Whereas it should be rates on experience rather than like a rate for a dozer, rate for a 360 excavator. It should be rates for experience. So why should an experienced operator who's been doing it like half his life have the same money as somebody we just started. I think it's a bit unfair, really. I don't know what you think on that, but that's my
Yeah,
thought on it. Anyway,
yeah. I think there should be some sort of like a grading system. Yeah, so someone that's a lot more experienced obviously should be able to ask for more money. So they've obviously
yeah,
got the years of experience compared to someone that just stepped
start
in.
at the bottom and work your way up the ladder.
Mm,
And then when you're doing it, you learn more and more.
mm. How do operators in the UK start out? Like, what's the main way people start out there?
Yeah, we have to do a CPCS. So you'll have to do a health and safety through a touch screen, and then you have to do an NVQ. So when you first start, you'll have a red card, which is a trained operator's card, and then within 2 years, you have to do an NVQ. So then that'll bring you up to a blue, was it blue competent operator's card, which I think again is a lot of nonsense because I've seen blue carded operators get shown up by a red card operator, but they won't touch the red card operator because he's not experienced enough.
Yeah,
But it's so called because of the colour of the card.
yeah. That's some of the biggest questions I get is new guys trying to start out, and they all keep saying like, how am I supposed to get a job when they're all asking for experience, but they won't give me a chance to get the experience. Do you have the
Yeah,
same
so
issues there?
what I would try and tell people over here, the way that I would do it if I was starting out again, a lot of people might agree with me, a lot of people might disagree with me, is go and sign up with a load of like agencies, yeah. I'm sorry to say it, but you don't have to lie because they won't touch you otherwise. So the way I would do it is say, yeah, I've got like a 12 month, 3 years experience. I get put on a job, I'll probably get thrown off that job, but then I'll go to the other agency, yeah, and I'll just keep on going, and that way, yeah, I'm probably getting thrown off jobs, but I'm having seat time, yeah, so I'm gaining experience that way, and you will pick it up. The more that you're in the seat, the more that you get the feel of it, and you learn, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, because a
I
lot of
can.
big companies won't even touch you if you're in a red card, which is wrong, really.
Yeah.
I think it's wrong.
No,
So,
yeah, I think you're right. If I can just share a story, when I first started in my 20-ton excavator, I remember the job site I went to. They asked me to do something. I think it was to cross over a couple of trenches to get some sand or something, and I had no idea how to get across without falling in the trench or damaging it. So when they weren't looking, I quickly looked up someone like yourself on YouTube showing how to do a trench hop, and then I quickly went and saw what they were doing, and then tried it and made it across. So you're right. Sometimes you just gotta just
yeah, you've got to do it.
run the gauntlet.
Yeah, it's like I've been like driving excavators and equipment all my life, and I'm still learning every day. You know what I mean? I have my strong points, then I have my weak points. I'm not perfect. You mean a lot of operators out there, the big, oh yeah, I'm the best. No, you're not. You're not. You're crap at something. You're good at something. You mean that we're all different. We all, struggle one way or another.
Yeah,
But that's my opinion.
yeah. No, I agree. We all have strong points. We all have weak points. There's some things that I want to try and get better at, and there's some things that I'm really good at and come naturally. So yeah,
I'll be honest with you. Like my strong point is grading. I I don't know why. I love grading, right? But my weak point is I struggle digging in a straight line. Like if I had to dig a straight line across a field, yeah, I'll dig it straight, but I struggle with it. And yet other operators will fly it.
yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not afraid to say it. Like a lot of people might say, oh yeah, I'm good at everything. No, you're not.
Mm.
You're not. You've got your weak points.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be self-aware and know what your limitations are because then you can sort of work on it. and try and get better at it.
Yeah.
Uh, can I ask you a question? Have you ever like damaged something and then not said anything about it? Yeah.
You know, um, I had a tractor once with a with like an Ivor Williams trailer on the back with a mini digger on top of the on the drawbar. It was a ball hitch, right? And the ball it snapped when I was going up the hill, and I didn't have the breakaway cable on, and it went hurtling down the road. I pulled the handbrake up, well, and the brakes were very good, and he just turned it, and it went straight through this old man's wall, which he just had finished. So I had a high pressure gas main on a big road construction job. I got thrown off that job.
Oh,
It always used to happen to me on a Friday afternoon. Last thing on a Friday
that
afternoon on the way home. That's when it happened. Sorry,
yeah.
no.
And it's
Yeah,
always what I find is even if you've got someone spotting you and watching what you're doing, they always say like, is it close? Are we close to the pipe? And they say, oh no, it should be, just do one more. And then that one more scrape that you do, that's when you grab it and break it on a
yeah,
Friday afternoon.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I sunk the 25 tenner as well.
Did you say you
Yeah,
sunk it?
oh yeah, proper. I was digging out for cables on a set of bog mats on blue clay. I slipped off the bog mats to this blue puddle thing, and I just couldn't get it out. By the time I'd finished trying to get it out, the arm of the 25 tonner was below the ground, and every man and his dog from the office, which you probably wouldn't even see, thought it was funny to come out take photos then. So I'm sweating and running around telling everybody to well, F off.
Oh, what about, I think we were having a bit of a chat the other day and we are talking about tilting hitches and tilt rotators. What's your opinion on those things?
Probably can upset a lot of people know what I'm gonna say. Don't get me wrong, I think they're game changer tilt rotators, and in the right hands, you know, they're brilliant. But in my opinion, they can make a bad operator look half tidy, if you know what I mean. By what I mean by that is, say like you're trimming a road with a camber in it. If you didn't have a tilt hitch or a tilt rotator, you'd have to throw some stuff under your tracks, build yourself up, get your level. But with a tilt rotator, you haven't. In fact, it's helping and the workforce and the colleagues, like whereas before they'd have to pick things up, or a tilt rotator is making it easier for the man on the ground. I mean, I think they're brilliant. But if I was, if I had a few machines, would I want to spend 30 odd grand on an item to put it on a machine where somebody might abuse it? No. If I was on like an owner operator, yeah, I could see the benefit. But me personally, I'd value just go for tilt it.
Yeah, yeah, I love the tilt hitch. I think I can't live without my tilt hitch anymore.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love a tilt hitch, but I love having the challenge of doing all the funny shapes, and without it, it's quite rewarding on some things when you finish and you look back and think, that's a nice job.
Yeah, true, true.
Yeah.
Um, so what machine do you sort of sit in the most, and what would be your favorite one out of all the machines that you've used?
Uh, I do like a dozer, mate. I do really like a dozer. But like over here, you have to travel with a dozer, really. If you want to, like, like 5 days a week in work, you have to travel. You have to go to the market. But I'm done traveling. I just want to spend a little bit more time with my family now, my son. Yeah, because I missed a lot of it when I was, in my early days of him. Like traveling the country, just one job to job. No, I don't miss that bit. But I'm lucky enough now that I can jump on the dozer up on the motocross track. So I'm having my
Mm.
little bit of a fix of, of that up there, which I enjoy. I'm up there on my own. I haven't got anybody looking over me. I can just plod on and do my own thing. When I've had enough, I'll just go. I haven't got anybody to say, well, you have to stay up here until that time, or I want you there this time. I'll just do it, and then when I get fed up, which is probably around about 10, 11 o'clock at night, I go home.
Yeah, some long hours, long hours. Yeah, I did notice that you posted some stuff with your son. So, what's your outlook for him? Do you think he'd get into this sort of industry, or would you tell him not to get into it?
He has to make his own choice, but, you know, he's, he's, he's been brainwashed, really, through my grandfather, me, but I'm trying to push him to try and get, like, him to, you know, have a trade behind him. And then if he decides that, he wants to go and drive diggers, at least he got something to fall back on, if that makes sense. But yeah, he's he's mad for it as well. But
Yeah,
like years ago when I was living with my grandfather, like I used to go to work with him, just have a go. Them days are gone. You can't do it now because health and safety wise. But yeah, he comes up in motocross track with me when it's quiet, and obviously I'm sat next to him. He'd have a go, but yeah, he's picked it up really well, actually, quite well.
yeah. Well, it's funny you say that because I take my son to work sometimes, especially if I have like a weekend job, um, and I find that he picks things up very easy. And sometimes I think it might be attributed to the games that they play, like they have good hand-eye coordination and stuff. But he picks things up very easy.
Yeah, he's our our kids are quite lucky in a way because it's like my son now. Yeah, he plays on an Xbox or whatever, but he'd rather go up the farm or he'd rather go out on the farm rather than staying in and just doing this all day on a play. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that, to be quite honest. He's not stuck in the house. And
Yeah, look, I think that going back to what you said earlier as well is with all the new health and safety regulations, you can't bring children out onto work sites, and I think in some way that sort of prevents us from being able to give them a go in machines. And then, like you say as well, technology now, they just want to spend more time playing, Minecraft or what's the other one, Fortnite, and doing that sort of stuff, and then it keeps them away from,
yeah,
it sort of
it's like
it stops them from having a go in something they might actually enjoy and earn some
yeah,
money with.
so, yeah, going back to like somebody starting out, just just probably go and find like a farm, like a farmer, because they've always got an old bit of equipment there, or like a small little like excavator on their farm. Go and do a bit for them, and then just jump on it and have a go, because that's how you learn, really. And because on a farm, you ain't gonna get thrown off the farm. If, like he ain't gonna throw you off it if he ain't paying you. Yeah, that's what I do. I wouldn't ask for money. I'd say, right, can I come and learn? I'm willing to learn. I ain't asking you for any money. I just want to learn. And a lot of farmers are probably glad for the help, to be quite honest,
Mm.
because they've always
Yeah, I
got an
think
old JCB or like an old mini digger or something lying about, haven't they? And what I've noticed as well, some of the best operators I've ever come across, they come from an agricultural background. They like they'll jump on anything, but in 10, 15 minutes, they'll sort of have the gist of it then. Whereas somebody might take that a little bit longer because they haven't had the experience on like tractors or so it's helping them in a way really.
mm,
Like yeah, some of the best people I've seen are from an agricultural background.
yeah. It's true because they get to use some different machinery.
Yeah,
If on your videos, I noticed that a lot of times it looks like it's wet and cold. How does the weather over there affect the industry?
I need a canoe, really. We need a canoe over here. Yeah, well, where I am, it rains, well, all year, really. You might have a couple of days of dry weather, but that's it. Like I said, and the difference between our winters and our summers, the rain just gets warmer in the summer.
Hmm.
Yeah, but we just got to get on with it. Somebody was saying, "Oh, why don't you stop?" Well, if you stop when it's raining, I'd be able to work all year. We just got to go and bear it. We just got to pick our times, what sort of work we're doing. So, like, if it's like storing up work, and then we might have a couple of dry days, so we'll get on some muck shifting, and then it start raining again, then we go back on something else. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Yeah, but yeah,
Oh, there you go. Um, so social media, if we can talk a bit more about that. Obviously, you're heavily involved with creating content. Or,
yeah, TikTok and Instagram, really. Yeah,
uh,
I never really, wanted, thought I'd go this far. I just thought, I put my phone in front of the machine, start taking a few videos, but it took off. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thankful for all the support and all that, whatnot. So yeah, it's quite good.
Or,
I don't know if you've heard of it. This Movers magazine over here. It's like one of the biggest in Europe magazines in Europe. And yeah, before my grandfather died, he said my grandmother used to subscribe, to the magazine for him. He used to have the magazine every month, and he said, I will see you in here one day, boy." And then when I did it, unfortunately, he's not here to see it. So quite quite a proud moment for my career and my family, really. Because in my career, I think that's a huge achievement, really, is being recognised for you know for, for what I do. But I didn't really plan on doing it. I didn't think for 1 minute that I was going to get in the magazine or nothing. But like all my hard work and dedication, it just proves that it shows off if you work hard enough. I do all my recording myself. Yeah, like through the drones or phone, like a GoPro. Yeah, because when I first started, I've had a look at my videos from when I first started to my videos now. I had a cringe looking at them from before. They're so they're so corny and cheesy, you wouldn't believe compared to what they are now. Yeah, but
yeah,
that's all to do with experience again. The more you do with it, the better you get at it.
yeah. True. What advice would you give to like anyone that's creating content at the moment?
Uh, Stick to what you know, really. Stick to what you know, and yeah, just obviously you are gonna have the critics out there who are gonna try and pull you down to their level, but you just gotta try and ignore it because I used to go mad and I'd put a post up, telling them really that what I thought, and then I was the one that getting banned, which which is wrong, really. Just jealous people, really, with nothing else to do with it. Like, but
Yeah, I've had some of my first critics in the last week or two about the podcast, and yeah, initially I
you
was
just gotta ignore them. Just gotta
yeah I was
ignore them.
exactly yeah. So I've
If
learned not
you're
to
if
get
you're if
thank
you're happy, if you're happy, what you're doing, who cares? Who cares what other people think? Like, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. People might not like what you do, but it's not them.
yeah. As long as we know that we're doing something to change the industry and help and benefit, then just keep
Yeah,
rolling with it.
just try to inspire, quite a, you know, anybody who wants to come into the industry. Then, like, yeah, it's a great industry, and you can earn really good money, but you've got to be willing to put the time and effort in. Because if you don't put the time and effort in, you ain't gonna get it. It's like people coming into the industry now want to chase the big money when they've only just come in. You're not gonna get it. I mean, you have to put time and effort in, to get there. Which is why a lot of people now are going, well, I don't want to do this, and then they finish and they go back in the factory because they give up. Whereas they
Yeah.
should be going, like, I'm going to do this and show like what I got, to offer. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. You can't in this industry. You can't give up at the first hurdle. So like you say, you might get thrown off sites because you're not good enough, or you might get rejected by guys, saying that you haven't got enough experience. But you just got to keep trying and keep going and be persistent
Yeah,
and
yeah.
keep
It's
keep
like,
practicing.
but the people who are the critics, they forget they had to, they started somewhere. They wasn't experienced, so why should they run down people who want to come in? They should be helping them rather than saying you're no good. Why are you doing this? You're crap. But I try and say to people, well, help them, show them. I mean, yeah, he is going to be quite green or rubbish. Show him how you do it, or help the guy out there, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
what I'm finding now is a lot of women coming into the industry over here now. I've got to be honest, they are
yeah,
damn good fighters.
yeah.
They are really,
We have.
they are, yeah, they're really good operators.
Yeah, we have. I've noticed a lot of females entering our industry at the moment. So you've got, they're not no longer just a traffic controller. We've actually got them in excavators and bobcats and big dump trucks, and
Oh yeah,
and they're quite good. Yeah,
yeah. I had a girl on a dump truck with other men as well, and I got to be honest, she was the best one I had. She put that dump truck anyway. She put that dump truck anyway, and she put it there first time. Whereas the experienced bloke would take 3 or 4, you know, turns to get under your bucket. She done it every time, but she might be as mad as a box of frogs, and like a man with humour. But what an operator, what an
yeah.
operator, which is good to see because there is a shortage of operators out there.
Like, where do you see yourself going from here? Like, where do you see yourself in the next few years?
Um, yeah, I want to stay an operator, but I want to get more involved with these big organisations. I mean, I don't want to be just on site, digging a trench. I want to get more involved with, um, like demonstrating or, you know,
Hmm.
so like showing a product to a client and explaining what this does, what that does.
All right. What about? Have you ever considered starting your own like excavation company and buying machinery? What sort of stopped you
Yeah,
from doing that?
yeah. It's like a lot of people said, why didn't I do it a lot younger? But I wasn't, I wasn't in the right frame of mind. I wasn't ready. I could probably do the work, no problem. It's like the added pressure of like finding work or the paperwork or I no I wasn't ready. But now I probably am ready. But what I found now, a lot of the big hire firms are swallowing up all the work, so it's making a lot harder for smaller owner operators.
That's fair enough. Okay, so for listeners, where is the best place they can find you if they want to watch some of your content or get in touch with you?
If you want to get in touch with me, is my Instagram page. My email is on there. You can get in touch with me on there, or my TikTok page. Which I don't know why. If you message me on TikTok, it doesn't ping up on my phone. I tried everything with a notification, but yeah. So Instagram is the one. If you want to email me, or all my contact details are on there.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time. You've offered some interesting advice to people that are looking at getting into the industry. You've shared your experience with all the social media. I wish you all the best with the future and what you're planning to do.
Yeah, thank you very much.
To all the listeners, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.